Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How are you this beautiful Auckland autumn day? What exactly is innovation? A definition, according to the Dictionary of Innovation, has two parts. One is the process of innovating. The second part is the result of that process, the product, the idea, the service that comes out of it. Our keynote speaker followed his entrepreneurial instincts to realize, along with his childhood friend, a creative dream that resurrected a creative icon. The commercial director of the Pop-Up Globe, Tobias Grant.
Well, a very good morning, and thank you for being here. This morning we're going to talk a little bit about innovation through the story of Pop-Up Globe. Dr. Miles Gregory, I bumped into about 2.5 years ago for the first time in a long time, and he is a complete Shakespeare aficionado. Miles said, look, my idea is I want to build the world's first full-scale temporary working replica of the Second Globe Theatre. I want to fill it with a festival of Shakespeare's masterworks, and I want to do it right here in Auckland. And my mission is to share it with as many people as possible. So what we did is went, okay, we need to go from the creative idea to how do we innovate and actually make this thing reality. Bear in mind, no design, no company, no building, no cast, no script, no directors, no site, no nothing. So we went, okay, right, what do we need to do? Let's have a really, really simple approach. The vision is world's first full-scale temporary working replica of the Second Globe Theatre in Auckland. Fantastic, share it with as many people as possible. We need to find a way to sell tickets, price them, get a building, find somewhere to put it up, and then do the best content that we possibly can. We knew that we needed to bring a lot of people to see the productions and the shows. To make the shows come to life, as any of you who have been to Pop-Up Globe will know, the groundlings, the people who stand in the pit, are a very important part of the show. So we knew we needed a lot of people, so we needed to be really generous in the belief that it would come back to us. And then what we did is went, okay, well, we need to take this from idea to actually reality. The first thing we have to do is to commit. And the first thing that happened was we approached a journalist and we said, look, this is what we're going to do. So there was an article, it was early on in section 1, it was read by a lot of people. So we were committed because we'd said publicly, we are going to do this. And some remarkable things happened at that point. The most important of which was that within 72 hours, 12,000 bookings had been made. Oh, there are 12,000 people who are now going to turn up for something which there is no building, no site, no cast, no productions, no show. The next thing we did was went, right, we need to do a billboard campaign. So we ran an advertising campaign that said, and I quote, "The greatest theatre in history is about to pop up in Auckland." No building, no site, no cast, no, yeah. So the next thing we did is we overcome the nerves and just do it. So that for us meant cast, get everybody on board and commit to actually building the building and start to build it, which we did. The whole essence of Pop-Up Globe is about innovation. And it starts with the idea. So the idea is really innovative. The construction is very innovative. The sites are innovative. Normally one would put a theatre close to a car park, not in it. The publicity was extremely innovative. We didn't market it as a theatre company. It was not how these things are normally done. Collaboration. We don't own anything. We clearly don't own our cast. We don't own the scaffolding. We don't own our sites. We don't own many of the things which we need to have to operate with. So on behalf of me and our company, all the people in our ecosystem, and also all the other people who are like me and like us, so who have businesses that are underway, if you see things, if you're around people like us or other businesses, please do one thing. Please make it known that you like and are really interested in what is going on, you admire their innovation and their audacity, and you want to be a part of it, as and when that timing is right. Because if you do that, you become part of this ecosystem that makes extraordinary things happen. So from me, thank you. Thank you so much for your interest in this story, and please support the bold.
The thing that resonated for me was two statements you made: better to be reckless than careful, and bold rather than safe.
All I'm going to say is, can you imagine the pitch before we started? Say, this is what we're going to do. The response was either, and it was about evenly split, either that is complete genius, you have to do it, or are you out of your mind?
What's more important, the idea or the process of actually turning that innovation into a product or a service, something totally new?
Kiwis are full of ideas. You know, the number 8 wire, we have no issue with a lack of innovation. I think it's a question of how do we take it from here, then take that idea and turn it into a process to say we're going to dominate globally, that pop-up's going to become a global phenomenon.
Look, firstly, I think the banks in New Zealand are doing a great job. I can name sort of numerous examples.
Just on banks, I don't reckon they're set up great for entrepreneurs in New Zealand. I don't think you get a great return out of banks. They don't, also too much money's in houses and not enough is in, productive assets, and they're very wary of that.
Grant, you've talked also about the opportunity for innovation and to insert into supply chains. Can you expand a bit on that?
I think that good businesses, make money, and that's innovative thinking is going, right, we've got some great technology, and again, that technology is developed through iteration, and I think that's another important part of innovation, is that you never get it right and you go down a lot of wrong paths, and you innovate and you change it.
Andy, you've also talked about and done some analysis on New Zealand companies. How innovative are we, in fact, or not?
Look, get asked this question a lot. The first thing I ask people when I go into an organisation is, tell me how you innovate. Don't really care what they say, but what I'm looking for is that they have an approach to innovation that they've agreed in the organisation, and that will get the proportion of your innovation that actually has an impact on the organisation or the customer up.
You do live in the best country on earth, and you have a looks like, feels like, and acts like market that is replicable in many different nations around the globe. So if you can make it work here, to your point, totally right, you can't necessarily be a giant player based on the size of this market, but the reality is you can lead the industries that you're a part of right now, and you can export that into so many different nations around the globe because you're so inspiring and compelling. You just gotta stop being tall poppies, pretty please. Like no tall poppy syndrome, okay? Like you're great, be great, own it. You now live in the #1 city on earth, according to our publications in America. So embrace that, and use that as your lever. Say, hey, this worked here because our community is innovative and creative. Look at this adoption, we're gonna bring it here.
Somebody once said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I think that is a fantastic statement to make, because you could have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't bring your people along with you, you're dead in the water.
Anything we did had to build a stronger business, and it had to enhance customer experience, and it had to show us as great kaitiaki, safety, security, sustainability, etc. So everything that we've done in the space of innovation, we've tried to avoid iterating the status quo, but we've made sure that every project we've undertaken is going to give us a tick in each one of those 3 areas: build a stronger business, enhance our customer experience, and put us in a position to be great kaitiaki.
And now, freshly armed with those insights and strategies, go forth into the world's greatest city, innovate, and make good, and build those great businesses. Have a great day, everybody.